Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that affects millions and millions of people, diabetes. But let's think about it a little differently. Instead of just a disease, picture it as a major glitch in your body's amazing fuel system. So let's dive in and see how it all works. So we hear the phrase high blood sugar all the time, right? But what does that actually mean for your body? What's really going on when there's way too much sugar just floating around in your system? We're going to break it all down, starting with how things should work and then what happens when they don't. Okay, first things first. To really get why diabetes is a problem, we need to appreciate just how brilliant our bodies are at managing energy. So let's walk through the normal process in a healthy body. It's actually pretty amazing. It all begins with what you eat. When you have carbs, like bread, rice, or even fruit, your body gets to work breaking them down into their simplest form, which is glucose. And glucose is just a fancy word for sugar. Think of it as premium fuel that every single cell in your body needs to survive and do its job. Now, as that glucose fuel enters your bloodstream, your pancreas, this little organ, acts like a super sensitive alarm. It detects the sugar levels rising and immediately signals its special beta cells to release a really important hormone called insulin. Insulin is basically the traffic cop for all this energy. And this is where the magic happens. The best way to think about insulin is like a key. Your cells need that glucose fuel, but the door is locked. Glucose can't just walk in on its own. So insulin comes along, fits perfectly into a little lock on the cell surface, and boom, the door swings open and the glucose can rush inside to be used for energy. And our bodies hate to waste anything. So if there's any extra glucose left floating around after your cells have had their fill, your liver steps in. It grabs that leftover sugar and packs it away neatly for later, in a form called glycogen. It's like having a backup battery, keeping your energy levels nice and stable. So that's the system working perfectly, a beautiful, efficient process. But what happens when something goes wrong? What happens if that all-important key, insulin, is either missing or it just doesn't work anymore? Well, that is the very definition of diabetes. It's when your body can't handle carbohydrates properly. Either the pancreas isn't making the insulin key in the first place, or the locks on the cells have become rusty and the key won't turn. Either way, the result is the same. The glucose can't get into the cells. It gets stuck in the bloodstream, causing high blood sugar. And the crazy part is, your cells are literally starving for energy even though there's tons of it right outside their door. Now, while the outcome, that high blood sugar, is the same, the reasons why it's happening are two totally different stories. And that brings us to the two main types of diabetes. Let's look at this side by side. With type 1, you have a production problem. It's an autoimmune issue, meaning the body's own defense system gets confused and attacks and destroys the very cells in the pancreas that make insulin. So, no cells, no insulin. The key is gone. This often comes on suddenly, usually in kids or young adults. Type 2 is the much more common one, making up almost 90% of cases. Here, the body is making insulin. The problem is that the cells have stopped listening. It's called insulin resistance. The key is there, but the lock is jammed. So remember it this way. Type 1, no key. Type 2, a broken lock. Hey, just a quick moment here. If you're finding this explainer useful and you want more easy-to-understand health guides like this, do us a favor and hit that follow button. We'd love to keep sharing this stuff with you. Okay, so when sugar starts building up in the blood, your body doesn't just sit there quietly. It starts sending out some pretty clear warning signs. Let's talk about what those are. The classic signs are sometimes called the 3 Ps. First, polyuria, which just means peeing a lot. Your kidneys are working overtime trying to flush out all that extra sugar. That, of course, leads to the second P, polydipsia, or being intensely thirsty all the time. Your body is losing fluid, so it's telling you to drink more. And finally, polyphagia. This means extreme hunger. It makes perfect sense, right? Your cells are starved for fuel, so they're sending constant messages to your brain saying, feed me. And if this goes on for a long time, all that extra sugar can cause some serious damage. Think of sugar as being kind of sticky. When there's too much of it, it starts to damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels. This can lead to all sorts of problems, like wounds that heal very slowly, blurry vision, and it can even cause your blood vessels to harden, which dramatically increases the risk of a heart attack or a stroke. So the bottom line is this: understanding why this is happening, is it a lack of insulin or is it insulin resistance, is absolutely the most important first step. When it comes to your health, knowledge really is power. We really hope breaking it down this way helped make things clearer. Was this useful for you? Please let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you think this could be helpful for someone else you know, maybe a friend or a family member, we'd be so grateful if you shared it with them.
We want to make sure we're covering the topics that matter most to you. So, what's another big health question you'd like us to explain next? Drop your suggestions in the comments.
And finally, we just want to say thank you so much for your support. It helps us continue our mission to build a healthier and more informed community together. We'll see you in the next one.